What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I know you thought we left y'all on a cliffhanger, on a season finale, on a cancellation, but true to our word, the Press Start Select podcast is back. I am Antonius, the gamer, once again, joined by Super SSS Rank. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Press Start Select podcast. S Rank, how we doing tonight?
Oh man, it is good to be back. Beautiful day this morning. Woke up, went outside, watered the plants. You know how the usual is, and excited to be here again once again with you, discussing what we love to discuss. There's been an interesting week all our time away. It's been a lot of interesting
Interesting
events.
month.
Interesting month indeed. So now we're here, excited,
Yeah.
ready to give you what we've been always wanting to give you, the full package.
Yes, and I apologize for the tweak to my setup for this week. Due to time constraints, I thought this would be the easiest way to come back. Life has taught me that there is no shortcuts. So tonight was just another reminder, but next week or the next time we record, it will be in a different style setup. But with no further ado, let's get right into it. So S rank, we're not gonna do much of a recap, right? A month is too much to go over in one podcast, but I think we will start off with the gaming big news. Now, in the most recent big news that we have, there's a couple things we have on our list. One of the things being, you wanted to talk about the latest launch of Tekken 8 Season 3 and the reveal of Kunimitsu. And you had some thoughts on where it may or may not take the game.
Yeah, yeah, previous pods, I thought, this was going to be the bounce back to Tekken, me assuming that this was going to be the season to make everything come back together. This is the Tekken we always wanted. And I'm hearing echoes of that happen, but I have to accept, even though I haven't been on the game as much as I'd like to because of the inconsistencies, I feel like right now Tekken 8 is just suffering from a a bigger problem in fighting games in general. What do I mean? It's it has to have more of a complete package. Fighting games almost now have to become a hybrid, especially if they're story driven.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
agree.
like they have to become a hybrid. And Tekken 8 had the perfect window to become that creme de la creme, and that was a missed opportunity when it came to Tekken 8 because like they had a straight line. They could have fixed everything. This season could have been Tekken's stamp on them being the king of fighting games or taking the place over Street Fighter.
Of
But
mainstream fighting games, at least.
mainstream fighting game because they did the whole launch. I mean, they had every intention. You had foam posits, Kazuyas, and Jins. The white and the black snakeskin. Like, but there was no delivery. What's all that? What's all that for? And I just think there was a lot of missed opportunity, especially with the guest characters. One of them taking the entire budget of what could have
Bro.
been the Tekken Force we wanted, and that just turned out to be a disappointment. I don't see any echoes of Clyde, you know,
In the
and it's
meta,
just
yeah.
in the meta yet at all. Like woohoo, nothing. I seen more Noctis than I
Yeah.
have Clyde. But I think I feel like right now because Harada's departure, they need to really focus on the next steps of Tekken, and I think they should make up for it in the Tekken 9. I'm not. I don't know if they can salvage this one, man. To be honest with you, um,
I feel like
because
they
this
could, but go ahead. Continue.
now if they do, they would have to do a Tekken Dark Resurrection type of
Oh no, yeah, yeah.
overhaul.
It would have
And
to be a full, like almost like back to the drawing board expansion. Like not for
yeah, so
nothing,
they would.
for what
They,
people knock it for. I'm like the Sparking Zero expansion kind of makes
genius,
sense.
genius, yeah, because
Go ahead. It
it did
kind of
take a
makes
big hit.
sense.
Well, if they're gonna do that and they're under the same umbrella, Bandai Namco,
Right.
I think they should reconsider that because I
I'm
think
with you.
it's necessary.
Yeah.
And those are my disappointments because the roster could have been a very simple 1-2 KO punch. But again, the balance issues are what's causing this to not be the game that everybody wanted it to be. A missed opportunity, and I'm still gonna play Tekken. I'm still gonna, put some time into it. But I can see where everybody and why everybody's upset about it, and just doesn't seem like they care enough. I don't know what's going on in the background, but they gotta fix. They gotta fix the glue. They need to find somebody to helm this, because Tekken needs to stay Tekken and not so caliber. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And it's just it's another thing with these fighting games that I don't want to bleed into another. So far, Street Fighters, I feel like Street Fighters test, like the hub world, is gonna pay off for them.
I agree.
I think it's gonna pay off for them 100%. I think they should continue. They should treat Street Fighter like my career in NBA 2K. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and I think they'll do fine. Just add more to the hub world, and then like, hey, let's add a beat 'em up Tekken 4 style to this hub world, because you want you want this game to keep the casuals. That's how you do it. You get a Tekken Force, you create a simple repetitive roguelike, and you just continue. You know, those are the things I hope happen with fighting games in the future. Because if Soul Calibur comes back out, we want to see cutscenes. We don't want to see a drawn painting of these characters. Which brings me back to how important a narrative is. Yeah, I think you guys would win if you put some MK budget into it. But just don't mess up on the story.
I think like to your point about like you know to get to shoot Tekken some praise. I think Tekken, like you said, had the blueprint for all the success. Right, it had competent online. It had a cinematic story mode. It had an arcade mode. It had a good balance of online and offline content. So like you said, for like the casual fan base who's like, I'm not trying to get sweaty in rank. It's like you didn't really have to for quite a bit of time in Tekken. And I think like I had asked the group in the group chat. I'm like, okay, we're getting all these DLC characters. Where's the DLC stories we were promised? Right, like this whole thing of even the unveiling of Kunimitsu. It's like, yeah, her and Reina have like this pseudo friendship going on. It's like, are we gonna see that outside of an interaction?
Yeah,
Like
true.
all this continue. Oh, Kunimitsu enrolls in a high school and or in a college, and that's how she meets Reina. It's like this is cool. Like this is a cool little bio, but what are we doing story wise? So I think like they have done. I always joke about calling it the gods and monsters era of Tekken. Of like, okay, if we're gonna go where Anna has to keep a mini bazooka on her just to keep up, I guess. So you have Kunimitsu doing Naruto style ninjutsu at this point, just to keep up as well. It's like I'm not necessarily mad at this. I guess take into the Tekken, but it's like if you're not gonna do anything substantial with it, what gives this the lifeblood, right? Of like as cool as Kunimitsu looks, to some degree, I'm like, I think this might be the peak of like, I like Roger Jr. I like Bob. Do I think these characters are going to be the things that gets Tekken back on course? I do not. Right? I think they they kind of showed, and I could be wrong, but I feel like they kind of showed their hand in the first go round, especially if some of the rumors that we heard are true, and that Street Fighter Six may be getting Tifa before Tekken does. And it just doesn't. It's like these characters are cool again, and that's why we started off with Tekken. Of like it's cool, but it's like it's not quite getting them there. It's weird to
Yeah.
see.
That's not that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not a good thing that if Street Fighter gets Tifa, you know, whereas everybody's like, yo, we don't care about Clive. And then that's the least favorite Final Fantasy of all time.
That's not true.
That Final Fan
That's not
you don't
true.
think so?
That's not true.
17? Oh,
16 is not
16, sorry.
the least favorite.
It disappointed me, man, greatly.
Yeah, you could say it's underwhelming, right? It didn't meet expectations,
Yeah.
but it's not. It is not by far
Okay.
not the most disappointing.
Well, for me, it is for me. And then it's only disappointing because it hurts to play. I'm like, you guys could have just did this, and the same way I feel about Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, you guys could have just did this one thing, and it would have been, but
Yeah, I still
they
think Final Fantasy 16 has some of the best boss battles I've ever played in this current gen. So I'll give it that. Like what they did cinematography wise with I want to say 85% of those boss battles. I'm like, this is current gen hardware. Like this to me was like a feast for my eyes of like, my gosh,
okay,
this
okay.
is amazing to witness.
It gave you the same feeling the Spider-Man demo did when he was chasing the negative man.
Yes, it did.
Okay,
It
okay,
did.
that's good. That's good stuff.
But next in gaming big news, something that is a bit actually before we get to the biggest one out of the things we had on the list, what are your thoughts on Sega's Stranger Than Heaven and the way that promo's starting to ramp up? Is that something that has caught your eye at all?
I like the energy of it, man.
Me too.
It's standing out. It's not afraid to be who it is. Yeah, we like hip hop. We want some of that kung fu swagger to it.
Wu Tang. Mm-hmm.
Wu Tang influences,
Mm-hmm.
and I was Snoop Dogg's in the game
Yeah, yeah.
again. So I already know it's gonna be fire because one of my favorite games with Snoop Dogg in it was True Crimes, Streets of L.A.
Or another thing where hands was being thrown, Def Jam Vendetta. Fight for New York.
Oh yeah, Fight for New York. Oh man, classics of classics. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I think I like what I'm seeing with Stranger Than Heaven. I think it's gonna be a fun game to watch online, kind of like watch people play, kind of like what Dispatch did.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a real enjoyable story. I can already I have good faith with that team because the Yakuza stories are actually very good.
Yeah. There's just
So
no consistent gameplay loop, right? It's like one's an
yeah,
RPG,
there
the other
isn't.
one's a beat 'em up,
Yeah,
the other one's just like, all right.
yeah. I mean, I guess that's the passion. That's the hit with it. The passion behind it, the interest of it. But I loved everything about it. They got a lot of popular faces. I'm guessing those are very popular actors, Chinese and Japanese
That'd be
actors.
my guess too, but I couldn't tell you. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I
Um,
wouldn't know. I don't know
yeah.
either, but yeah. So far, I like what I'm seeing. I think I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't it's weird because I feel like Sega's having this like kind of odd year where what they're promoting is very strong, right? So I'm like, you had Shinobi, which I thought was great. I haven't played the DLC yet, but I'm like, I thought that game was great, right? The people that play Sonic Racing Cross World seem to enjoy it a lot, even though it didn't sell the greatest. So I'm like, even with Stranger Than Heaven, like Stranger Than Heaven also looks like a good Sega entry, but I just don't see as many people talking about it. And I'm just like, I don't know what it would take for Sega to have that like all eyes on them again, despite the fact that they are clearly trying. Like, is it going to take a Sonic game for things to kind of like a Sonic game proper to kind of like right that ship? Like, is this going to be like a sleeper hit where it's like, yeah, everyone loved it, but no one talked about it?
I think with Sega just needs to hold the line, and the fruits of the labor will like flow over. Because
Mm.
um, technically, Capcom did the exact same thing. They had to hold the line, and if they didn't drop that banger of Resident Evil 2, which everybody was saying, oh, okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think what would help Sega if they didn't sell it, a Bayonetta installment would have helped. The fact that everybody doesn't have access to that game kind of hurts it.
yeah.
They need to drop another Vanquish.
Sega does?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
because everybody's playing those games in the past, and they're like, "My gosh!" So you're building momentum here. How do you get that momentum to also join the community that you want them to join in your rebirth, your revision, this second this new Sega, this Sega era is clearly understanding who they were. They're not going off of nostalgia completely.
Mhm.
They obviously want to have a presence here. They want to have a presence in the video game space again. I think they should they would have to like bring back everything that they used to have. And I think that momentum right there is going to get everybody back in the ecosystem. They just have to hold the line, continue to drop bangers, just like Atlas. They when we see Atlas, we know that okay, you're gonna get a great Shin Megami Tensei game. I can't wait. There's no questions,
Hmm.
and I think they need to keep that consistency there.
Okay.
They need to allow some of these games that have Digimon potential to be that. Like what Digimon is doing. You I'm every day I'm following the page and I see a new Digi. I said, "Yo, this guy is going
Yeah.
ham
Yeah. Yeah.
with these Digimon.
Mm.
This is something he always wanted to do, and none of them look the same. And
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at. I'm like, yo, you want to give? There's a black Omnimon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think with Sega just needs to continue to hold the line. Sonic is definitely going to be a major player,
Mm.
hands down. If
Mm.
they were to be as crazy enough to say, "Hey, remember that Sonic Adventure game Battle 2? We're gonna remake DX and then Battle 2. And we're gonna make the story a lot better and the gameplay a lot better." Uh and I think that'll be a home run. 100%.
I think we'd see Sonic Frontiers 2 first, to be
Yeah.
like realistic, but I'm sure, given like we're starting to see these like established companies who've been around for a while, like kind of catch on to the craze of like people just enjoy the remakes and the remasters. Of like we just want to see the game we had from our childhood in Ultra HD at 60 frames per second. Can you do it? So I think if they just added some quality of life improvements, granted, like who do you entrust to do that? But that
Yeah,
could
that's
put
true.
them. That could be the thing that like sparks them again, to
I
some
think
degree.
with Sonic Frontiers, one of the things that hurt it was the stages didn't look like Sonic. They looked like something was invasive.
Yeah,
And you can have those stages, which is fine, but like pull, we want to run around in a world,
yeah,
like kind of like how you had us in DX Hub World, and Sonic is just, Sonic wants to run on this skyscraper. And it's okay to have the world replicates a playground for Sonic. Who cares?
yeah.
Like, yo, these humans over here, they drive actually on these these roads that spiral because they have the cars like there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
And then if you can pull from the comics, make your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
If everybody's going crazy for those IBW, I don't know the brand name, but
IDW.
IDW,
Yeah.
which this is the Ninja Turtles too, right?
Hmm.
And they just had a crazy run with the Ronin series, guys. They have writers, use that,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think they'll be fine. They just need to hold the line. Everything else is gonna fall into place.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of companies that have held the line and have held the line to much success, Pragmata, as of the time of this recording from Capcom, has sold over 2 million copies.
for
2 million
first
copies
for
for
a first game entry.
yeah, for a
Wow.
brand new IP. Who would have thought, looking at Exo Primal, that we make it this far with Capcom?
Exo Primal's one problem. All they needed to do was be hack and slash Lost Planet. They would have been fine.
And scaling the weird a little bit. I know it's like quirky Capcom, but it's like when you I'm telling you from the casual eye, when you're looking at portals open up and dinosaurs fall mass in volume on volume as somebody loads up their Ryu mech, it looks crazy from a distance.
No, it does, but there's a game on PlayStation, Earth Defense Force. That's all you guys could have done. You know what I'm saying? Earth Defense Force. People are gonna copy that game and add more graphics to it. Like
Mm,
Earth Defense Force. That's a game where you drop your mic. Well, no, I'm not gonna say mic. Nah, that's the reason why it's amazing. But that's a game to where you can go ahead and go crazy and have fun. You do something like that. I felt like they should have just from the very beginning, um, blended this and pulled from Lost Planet. That would have helped a lot easier because there's an objective. I don't want to. I can't really fight you guys, but we could fight dinosaurs against each other
mhm.
in a point system. That just doesn't work for me. So for me, I really think that they should have just pulled from Exo Primal and that would have worked. But back to Pragmata, um, I mean, from the time I played the demo, I knew this was gonna be fire.
I'm actually
Um,
I haven't played the demo, but I'm genuinely surprised that it did as well as it did.
no, but one of the things I think GamerRank said when they played it, they said this reminds me of one of the Xbox 360 era. Like every game was an experiment, but as if it existed already.
Mm,
Nobody was like, who knew Dead Rising would be what it is today?
mm-hmm.
But people loved it, right? And so there was a lot of games where there was experiments, but they wind up becoming the Gears of War is one of them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of games to where they were just experimental, but they became staples, and this is gonna change how games are gonna be introduced from now on. So I think I'm not surprised. I played the game. I said this feels like Capcom. This feels the hacking system. Everything was clear. You had your clear understanding of what is allowed in the world. If you want to do damage to this enemy, you have to hack away their defenses before they can get a
Mm-hmm.
blow on. And you had so many resources to use in your disposal, different variety of guns. Um, but you can also target areas of the enemy, which just makes the game more fun. And I love that about a game. It's like they pulled binary domain sleeper guys. Say what you want, but it's like they pulled from that.
Mm.
And did Sega not make binary domain?
I don't even know what that game is, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh man, hold on. No, let me see this. Binary
I
domain.
couldn't even tell you. I think with
No,
Pragmata.
Capcom. No, that's Sega.
Okay.
Capcom made Pragmata. But yeah, but back to Pragmata. I really enjoyed the demo, and I was voicing it with you guys. I said,
Hmm.
"Yo,
I
this
remember.
game is good."
Mm.
And so now I haven't gotten the game yet, but I'm just glad that echoes throughout the entire game when you play it.
Yeah, I think to what you said earlier is like I think Capcom has just put in the work, bro. Like it's hard to deny their commitment to their what their fan base wants from certain things. Of like they've apparently just mastered the RE engine, right? Where it's like you're gonna get a certain pristine, not just good, pristine level of quality. It's gonna play on your console well. It's gonna play on your PC well. If you have a Steam Deck, it's gonna run like we've gotten this RE engine to a point where like it's gonna look good no matter what device you're playing it on. And from there, it's like it feels like it freed them from the graphical limitations of like we have to push to like we can just be creative in this space because we know what it takes for this game to have a look of polish. And not for nothing, it's like Pragmata, even though it's like beating all the I guess like the allegations in terms of like, oh, it's sad dad in space, or whatever the case may be. It's like, well, you have people who are that's how you I feel like that's how you know when a game is good. It's like when someone when the masses challenge the usual narrative online of like, oh, it's just Last of Us in space. It's like, no, shut up. Or like, oh, that whole weird thing that went on with the robot. It's like, yo, you are weird. Shut up.
Very,
Like,
very.
yeah, it's like it's always like a breath of fresh air when I see like the greater community be like, let's cut this narrative right now. Like, let's just pull it. Like, we're not doing this. You're not gonna do the usual. Let's rage bait against something we actually like for once. Like,
Yeah, and then defend a game that's not even a game. It's a walking simulation. Just recently dropped called Mix.
uh, well, I think we'll have to say that for a discussion for a different time.
No, we will, but
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, just yeah, like I just really enjoy. I'm really glad that this is we can the Capcom we've always wanted
yeah.
Capcom to be.
Capcom that makes you want
So
to play games again. Of like, oh, maybe there is something about Pragmata that or was it Pragmata? Right, that's the correct way they're pronouncing it.
yeah,
Pragmata. That I'm like, okay, maybe it's not a it's wasn't a game that spoke to me of like a day one buy, but like maybe on a sale, I'm like, clearly there's something here that people seem to
it's
resonate
not.
with.
Yeah, it's not that expensive either.
Yeah,
It should be going on sale pretty soon. Um, Coming off the tail end of Resident Evil, man, this is good. I'm actually excited for Onimusha now,
yeah. They might hit the three-peat this year.
and this is dropping what next month? Onimusha?
Is it next month?
Yeah, Unimusha's not dropping in October. Let me
Okay.
see. It's dropping pretty
But yeah,
soon.
they might hit the three-peat. Like Capcom, man. They're an undeniable force at this point. Like they're
Looking like the Golden State Warriors,
yeah,
man.
yeah, they're the Capcom in the late '90s that we remember all too well. So okay, congrats to them. Um, yeah, keep doing what y'all are doing. Like, don't let up. Keep the collections coming of games we've been asking for that you've had on ice. Keep the fresh ideas coming. Keep showing love to your IPs. Bring back some of your other IPs. Like at this point, let's roll the dice on Rival Schools again sometime soon, please. Thanks. That'd be great.
And Mega Man,
Mega
Mega
Man.
Man,
Well,
maybe Mega
not.
Man
I mean, we're
Legends.
getting Mega Man. Don't. We are getting Mega Man. I don't know.
Okay,
We'll see
we
how
haven't
that
seen the
one
gameplay
goes.
yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
they better go on a hiatus like Pragmata did.
yeah,
And what are we?
and yeah, and kind
What?
of get that together for sure.
Yeah.
But that hits most of the non-console attached big news. Let me say, but let's get into some of the console news. Starting off with I got one more in me. Xbox. Vince Carter meme. I got one more in me. In the time that we've been on hiatus, Xbox and specifically Asha Sharma have really been, I would say, at least putting out the small fires, right? I think people are getting a little bit too excited, if I got to be fair, of like,
Yeah,
she's
too
doing
excited
the things that should have been done. I'm
already.
glad she's doing them. Don't get me wrong. But when it's like, yeah, she already rolled back the price of Game Pass, like, well, it shouldn't have gone up in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Is like, I mean, again, I'm not playing downplaying it. I'm glad she had the wherewithal to be like, this isn't working. Hey, let's make these tweaks. But at the same time, it's like, okay, again, you're riding the ship, but can you take the ship to El Dorado, the city of gold at this point?
Yeah, right.
So that's right. Tell me what you think in terms of the logo redesign, the change in leadership, the push of, hey, Copilot was coming, now Copilot is gone. Like, what does Xbox look like to you now? And can they become a contender again? Is that even possible?
I personally think it's too soon.
Too soon in
Too
what
soon.
regard?
Too soon to like celebrate, to be honest with you.
Oh, I would agree, but I want to hear
Yeah,
what you got to say.
it's way too soon to celebrate because there's a lot of things that actually okay, Xbox as a brand needs help, and then your IPs also need help and structure
Yes.
because a lot of them are in limbo. The
Or doing worrying things.
or
Halo.
no, yeah, extremely worrying things. That I don't have a lot of confidence in at all.
No.
Um, but going back to Xbox as a brand, I think for them to put the icing on the cake as far as the restructuring to go without, oh, that's interesting. They need to bring back that edge. I think the I wasn't too I wasn't too thrilled with the Xbox logo sound. It sounds the same. I think it needs a completely different sound. Some Xbox doom dystopian energy of the new core reveal. That's a very distinct sound. I don't think you should get rid of it.
Okay.
You don't see iTunes getting rid of their icons, you know? Everybody knows what it sounds to turn off a gateway computer, a Microsoft Windows, a 95. You don't change the sound. That sound will help you in marketing. So we should go with a new sound. No, you don't. Not with the electronics. Like there's a reason why Amber Alerts. It's a consistent sound that resonates with everybody.
Mhm.
You want to do ultimate branding? That's what you do. You don't change the sound. You owned a sound. That sound will be noticed throughout generations and passed down with ease. That's one. Two, you need to bring back the edge. What does that mean? Well, I think you should just have be a little bit more a little less policing where it doesn't matter. Of course, policing to where you dealing with age differences and whatnot. That's always going to be at the forefront. But when it comes to um, creative expression, let it be. Let it be. you know.
I don't know if I fully agree with that one because I feel like that's kind of what Phil Spencer championed, and I think that's what got him in the hole that he ultimately ended up with. Of like, I'm gonna let the creators create, and we'll kind of just see what happens. Where it's like, Phil, you should have been in that room at least 4 more times when they were making Redfall, and been like, what is this?
No, no,
Like
no, no.
I think he was a
When
little
I
bit too lenient, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I say me, this is me assuming that you have you know, I'll say compared to the rap game, J. Cole's and Kendrick's at your disposal.
I don't know that they do, but go
You
ahead.
know, no, I'm saying
Yeah,
like
I don't
as
know
of
that they
right now
do.
they don't.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
this is what me saying, assuming that they have that at their disposal.
Mm-hmm,
There's one in the cut waiting with his notepad. I was waiting for this moment. You know,
mm-hmm.
a game developer. I think they should really focus on allowing the creative to be creative with, of course, with the seatbelt, not loosely. Hey, yo, this is not so. Do what you do so that the game could become what it is,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and not be a cancer to it. And that's all I was saying. That's what I meant when I say creative freedom. A lot of some of these gaming ideas, kind of like if you have a Larian in the cut, Larian Studios, it's wise that I let them do what they want to do. It's just gonna work in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna work in our favor, for example. But certain games, yeah, I think like we'll get to it. I think there's a certain game that needs a complete delay because it's disheartening, and it shows me that there is no leadership that's strong in the game that needs strong leadership. But with right now, with what Xbox is doing, she's putting out the fires. It's cool. um I'm just interested in seeing where it goes. I'm already out of that field. I
Yeah.
have no more ties to the console brand. Just my library.
Mm-hmm,
If I
mm-hmm.
buy the next Xbox, it's gonna be because my library's there. And if they do the Steam port to where you can play, you can have your account there, then I'm moving everything all over on my PC. And if they allow me to pay a one-time fee for the games that I already purchased, I will do that gladly.
Okay.
But I'm exiting because at this point, if it's gonna be corporate, which is bizarre for corporations to do, like I never understood. I think you should model yourselves after what PlayStation has a faceless brand, meaning it's for you can see kids playing it, you can see adults playing it.
I actually think
Um,
PlayStation's current branding is the worst it's ever been. But
no, no, now,
yeah.
no, but that empty slate was always there, and it's still there now. But like, what's going on with PlayStation's more tuned, more it's more obvious problems that they're doing versus the entire brand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you fix this right here, your brand
You'll be
is
fine.
in good
Yeah.
standing
Mm-hmm.
again. It's not having the identity issue of what is Xbox. Nobody knows what it is. They don't know what it is. Is it edgy or is it corporate friendly, clean slate? Hey, like us, like like Xbox should never have had that. We should know you're the leader, but Xbox as a sound, if I were to define it, it should be as clear. It should be clearly different as a stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Star Platinum, uh, Golden Radiant, uh, um, Silver Chariot. It should have its own. It should just be.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Even Nintendo. When you say Nintendo, I it's not it. I don't associate it with. I know they're there. They're the CEOs. But if they leave, Nintendo would still be Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
with what was happening with Xbox, it was almost like Phil Xbox. You have to say that Phil Spencer's last name is Xbox subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
And so they need to get away from that. They need Xbox. I think Xbox needs to go back into the edgy brand. And when they say edgy, it doesn't have to be super grotesque stuff. It could just say, hey, we're gonna give you HBO level quality storylines. You're gonna have your storylines that'll give you what you want. We're gonna bring back that kick that Xbox was giving with these games. Like, look at that lineup for the 360. And so right now, I just think I'll just watch from afar and just hope for the best for them as of right now, Asha Sharma, my apologies for the previous pods because
I don't think you were saying
you
anything that anybody wasn't thinking at that time of
know,
like, yo, what is
yeah,
this? Who are you? You did what before?
yeah, like, but with business, knowing business, scaling is everything. I don't think it should be because it's dangerous because now you don't have any, there's no
You don't have anything to
indicator.
scale.
Yeah, you don't have anything to scale as well as you whatever consciousness that you had that allowed you to get there, you're losing it now. You know what I'm saying? The entity now says it's supreme is always dangerous, and that's how companies go down.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have anything to add on,
Oh
I'll go
yeah,
off of that.
yeah. I think like I said earlier, I think she's scored a lot of the easy wins. Again, and not to knock it, it's like a win. Like sometimes it's like, hey, if you got the layup to the basket, why are you gonna shoot a three? You know what I'm saying? Like just lay up to just lay it up. Just yes,
Just lay
remove
it up.
Microsoft Gaming from Xbox. Go back to Xbox. Get the applause. Like do the things that start to entrust the goodwill for you as the new active face of Xbox. I think, like we said, kind of in the group chat when we were talking about it, like I think the problem that she has is that time is not on her side, right?
It's not.
I think, obviously we don't know for sure what the internal conversations are to a full degree, but I think the biggest thing still in the room is Satya, right? Satya was all about AI, AI, AI. I don't think it panned out the way he thought it was going to.
It did not.
And now he's trying to see like, okay, what do we still have that we can leverage? Okay, Xbox is still a thing. Okay, let's do something with that. But I don't think the let's do something with that. And again, I don't know, but like I said, my conspiracy theory is that Satya watches our podcast personally. Like, I don't think he is ready to commit to that 5-year plan of like, you're thinking about Xbox 2027. You should be thinking about Xbox 2032 because it's going to take you a while to really kind of put the pieces back in place of what can bring the success. It's like, sure, right? This is an Xbox campaign. You killed it. Beautiful, beautiful. But the Xbox Anywhere thing, you need to lean into that, right? We need to find ways of like, now you got the Xbox Rogue Ally, whatever, that you're going to kind of use as your pseudo portable device. What are you doing to incorporate that? That is essentially your Steam Deck-esque device. What are you doing to bring synchronization between that and your console? In terms of the console, right? You have probably the lowest value console out of the big three on the market right now. What are you going to do to incentivize it? Are you willing to take another hit on the hardware to get people to buy it? You got to kind of over deliver and undersell on Project Helix, in my opinion, if you even want a fighting chance. Of like,
True.
there needs to be something about it that's like, okay, this is like a $1,200 device that is selling to me for $700. And Satya, you're gonna have to grit your teeth and just take it. And are you willing to do that? Are you willing to tell Amy, yo, don't have an aneurysm right now over these margins because we're gonna be in the red for some time? Are you willing to let Asha go into the Halo Studios office and tell everybody to get out? Like, it's I don't even.
I got a solution for that. We're definitely going to dive into that later.
Yeah, I don't even. To me, I'm like Halo Studios. Based on what I've heard, based on the content creators I've watched, based on the people that I've seen, like yourself, who are very passionate about Halo, they don't know anything about Halo. They don't know anything about Halo. They're not confident in what they're doing with the future of it. All they know how to do is remake and repackage the same thing they've already remade and repackaged. And this is Master Chief is your flagship brand. Kick them out. Go in there and do what Phil did to Tango. Like, get all of you, pack your things and get out. We're outsourcing it to a competent third party person to come in and make Halo for us, and we're going to turn them into a second party developer for this game. Right? I mean, the jury's still out. There's been rumors that Gears of War E-Day could be arriving as early as September of this year. So I won't come to any preliminary decisions about that. But I think that needs to be part of your grit. If Halo is going to be the more sanitized version of it, which is fine, Gears of War needs to be that chewing tobacco and dynamite of the Xbox, right? You need to, like you said, like I think there needs to be little bits and pieces of like, You need to bring back that unapologetic Xbox. I think we're in this era of there's so many ways to access gaming. Obviously, PC being one of the biggest ones, and you need to find a way for you to stand out. Like so with Nintendo, the way that they're doubling down on like their on the Switch 2 console, like now they have a graphics boost mode of like, hey, we've figured out a way to get more juice out of the handheld. Great, that's what you want because that's where you guys struggle. It's not a secret. You guys struggle graphically. What are you doing to compensate for that, right? So with Xbox, it's like you right now do not have a way to get people to want to pick up your device. There is nothing in your ecosystem that says, let me. People would rather wait a year, if need be, for Forza Horizon 6 to come to anything other than the Xbox console. That's not good. So to me, I say all that to say, again, I think Asha's head is in the right place. I think she's done a lot of good in a very short amount of time. I mean, granted, she's only been in that position for 2 months, but I think
Yeah.
we're talking about a 2-3 year plan at the earliest to see something like cook and come together. You need the infamous Phil quote of like, even if we made an 11 out of 10, it wouldn't move consoles. Is like, I promise you, if you make 11 out of 10s, it will move consoles.
It would. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's it's
Um
it's a it's a
yeah.
tale as old as time. I want to do that cool thing that everyone else is doing over there. How can I do that? Oh, I need an Xbox? Say less. You need to bring back that feeling. What are they doing over there? I need to feel how I felt in college playing Halo 3 with my roommates up till 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, dang, this game is pretty good. I have my PS3, but do I want a 360?
Yeah, and you were looking side eye at your PlayStation. The PlayStation's looking at you back like, yo, you didn't turn me on in 4 days.
Yeah.
What's going on? You used to call me every hour. Yo, you used to turn on every hour. Like, what's going on?
Right. So
Um,
to me, that's kind of where my head is of like, are you willing? Do you have the patience, and are you willing to keep that wallet open to really get this back on rails?
it is ultimately up to Microsoft, upperclassmen
Yeah,
to make the correct decision. And I think for the fact that they're not doing too good on their end shows that their competency isn't where they thought it would be.
absolutely.
And I think that's it's working out just fine. Now they have no choice, yo. We need to make sure because our branding is looking bad.
Yeah,
Windows 11 is
they've had to. Yeah, we've seen more work done on Windows 11 in the past 2 months than we've seen since it launched. Of course,
yep.
correct. Oh, we're so sorry. Too much bloatware. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, and you realize you fired the wrong people. You let go of the wrong people. And I think ultimately what Microsoft needs to do is build better systems. I think yeah, it's up to Satya Nadella and friends. And in a way it's good that they're not doing too good on their end. So they're not looking as wise as they thought they were. Cut prices, get these margin. Where does this need to increase margins coming from? Like, does it help you produce the best product? And now you're paying for the price because now you're having people having disposal at these AI data centers and these code masters that are outperforming what a team of 1,000 people are doing.
Claude's doing more for the community than Copilot is, and Claude is
Yeah,
a fraction of the size of Microsoft.
a fraction of the size of Microsoft. And so, um, my whole thing with this is like just trying to understand it, is that maybe we should really focus on the customer again and making them have the best experience. Otherwise, like someone who's hungry within your competitors, they drop a computer that's called the Nano that's very appealing, and now people are saying I prefer this over a regular laptop that runs Microsoft OS. And now the people that we never thought would come over are now over
You're right.
in the ecosystem
Right, right, right.
of your competitor. So I just think personally, this is it's gonna be up to Sata and Nadella and friends because they're gonna either stop something that could be, or they're gonna join and say, hey, how can we help you make this the best product?
Yeah.
Which I think every company should strive for. That's what got you there in the first place.
Right.
Now that you got to a certain amount, we could just coast. There's no such thing, because if a disaster happens, you are now downscaling because you didn't have it's a business 101. Like, you should plan for these things.
Yeah, I think the minds I think we're seeing in real time of the where else would they go corporate take of like I think you're underestimating the consumer mindset of like I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I know I won't be here anymore. You know, and it's like oh
Blockbuster
whoa
said the same thing. Where else would they go?
right
Don Matrix said the same thing.
right
So yeah, and now it's everybody will have their turn. Your competitors on the rise. Just continue to be as complacent,
I
and then
agree.
you'll finally see
Yeah, and this was obviously something that we will be covering a lot more in the future as things kind of ramp up for Asha and Xbox. And my other hope for them, kind of in closing for this topic, is like I just hope that they can figure out a consistent message. I think another thing that they struggle with is like we've had about 5 different messages from Xbox that get abandoned in 6 months. Of like we're doing this now. Okay. We're doing that now. All right. It's like we're focused on the subscription service and that's where we're doing Game Pass. No, just kidding. We're doing this as an Xbox and you can play off your smartphone. Oh no, just kidding. We're getting back to exclusives. Maybe, possibly, doubtful, but we're going also PC. It's like, yo, what do we
full rebrand. And to be honest with you, I would have went back to formula, and as a marketing, I would have focused on these three things. I said it earlier. I would have focused on the sound, and I would have went back to the original Xbox logo, kind of just modernized it, but keep it square. Don't round it. Keep it square. That'll distinguish you. Basically, the classic Xbox logo aesthetic. You did some of that, but go back to the sound as well, to where people can feel like it's a box opening up.
Mhm.
Perfect. Like, the work is already done for you. The 360 logo Xbox, it doesn't show confidence. It's like, yo, we're here, we're glad we're here to. No, we don't. We no, we are here. Cube from space, bam.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
dystopian.
I think it's like a
Yeah,
distinctive design, right? Like what as you were talking, it made
yeah.
me think of like, look at this, look at Valve and Steam, right? They just launched a Steam controller that costs $100, bro, and it sold out immediately. People see them in trackpads and it just does something to them, right? It's like it's a distinct design of like, it's Steam. I need it. Xbox needs that back of like I need it. I don't want it. I need it.
Yeah. So no, that's true. But I would have changed the sound, changed the logo, and also you have to restructure whatever it is that's going on with your first party games. You need to build a system that no matter what, and also not cut ties with the people that got you there. Go ahead and hire some of those developers, those story writers that you guys let go for whatever reason. That was actually the reason why Halo Infinite wasn't as bad as it could have been, because that was going to be a disaster if they did not um number one, call Joseph Staten. But that's all I have to say. Those are the things that they should have done. They should definitely rebrand the logo, go back to the Edge era, and of course, don't dive fully into it, but just bring that Edge bear back. You need to be a combination of what Adult Swim and Toonami was in the 2000s, and I think you'll figure out what you can do as far as gaming. Go into your Adult Swim bag and go into the Toonami bag of the 2000s Midnight Run specifically,
Mhm.
and then the Rising Sun. That'll be your Psychonauts, and then just take from that and apply it to Xbox, and then you'll have Xbox up and running back to normal.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. To move on to their competitor, right? The one who you want to talk about complacency. Well, I can't even say complacency anymore because their decisions have come back to bite them in ways I think they would have never predicted. For those who don't know, we talking about Sony PlayStation. And about the weekend before we started recording this podcast, the financials is out. They had to let the stockholders and stakeholders know what's going on. That Bungie acquisition continues to burn money. It continues to be that Fairly Odd Parents gif where they're shoveling money into the furnace. Destiny 2 ain't doing it. Marathons collapse. In fact, it was not a marathon. It was indeed a sprint. Like, it's not looking good, S. Frank. It's not looking good when it comes to Sony and anything that they've done that requires the servers being on. So,
Was that a Jim Ryan decision to
they'll never
acquire?
admit to it. We'll probably never know who greenlit what.
The Don Matrick of the PlayStation universe.
That's what he's looking like.
Yeah, and it's safe to say. Yeah,
So
the Don Matrick.
what are your thoughts on the current state of Marathon, the current state of PlayStation, the fact that they're basically begging and pleading Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out so they can remove some consoles again, now that their consoles are $150 more since the last time we recorded?
Okay, like Marathon was never gonna do it, guys. I don't know why you thought that would do it. An extraction shooter, super niche. That's sweaty palm central.
24/7 sweaty palm on that for that matter.
And like,
and you said it. You said it when they were first rolling previews. You're like, this is not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It should have just been a short for the next season of Netflix's Love, Death, and Robots. It should have just been a short. And you know, inspired by Sony. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah. It wasn't gonna work because it was too far away from what people know Marathon to be. Yes, it's an old game, and okay, a lot of people are not acquainted to it, but you could have easily pulled from that, and y'all could have had your Atomic Heart or whatever, you know, because that game, whether it's perfect or not, is so. There's a part 2 coming out, so it did very well. And yeah, I knew this wasn't gonna do it. Like the aesthetic was too close to what people already have seen. That was just an extremer version.
I don't think so. I actually would push back and say it was almost too distinct, to be honest. Like, I could see a Marathon clip or a screenshot. I know immediately what it was. I'm like, oh, that's Marathon.
Yes, when I say it was too distinct, but it was just like it. I still can't see. I can't make out anything in this world.
No, like too distinct. It's too distinct. There's too much going on.
I can't see what I'm looking at. It's blending in with the graphic design. Pamphlets in the background, like the characters literally like just sliding into it. I can't make out what's happening, and the particle effects are destroying. Like, imagine you get seizures from just seeing Marathon. Like you're in an automatic genjutsu. But I knew the Marathon wasn't gonna work because everybody's tired of extraction shooters. Like, there's a fatigue. Nobody's talking about Apex Legends like that. You see them dropping characters every week like they used to.
Even Arc Raiders on the decline, and Arc Raiders was casual friendly.
No, well, Art Raiders, I mean, like everybody else, it doesn't have to me, Helldivers has a more perfect system.
And if even Helldivers is going through right now.
Oh yeah, but like people's attention spans are that of goldfish. It's like the gameplay loop is there, man.
Yeah,
you know. And then not only that, some people we gotta work extra hours now. It's like this is a real thing. Most people here,
gas is $4 a gallon. I can't.
So I'm seeing people who would never do Uber. Why? just to get a little bit more because they're budgeting. Hey, if I do this XYZ, I can still save and still have enough to feed my family. I hate to bring real world situations into this, but that's what's
That
happening,
is what's
guys.
factoring in. It's a factor in
You
all of our
know,
conversations. The
it's a
price of the
factor in all of
Xbox,
our conversations.
PlayStation 5 going up in price. We're about to talk about Nintendo. Nintendo is getting a price hike. You know, like it's an inevitability. Everything
Let's
comes
not even
back.
talk about the the marathon of Nintendo, which I would call Metroid Prime 4.
Oh,
Uh but yeah, marathon. I mean, I wanted it to work, but when I saw what it was, it didn't carry the essence of what it I thought it should have looked like.
mm,
And there you go. They went too big too soon. They should have started off very small. That should be a free to play game to see if people liked it. Something really manageable, and then you go on from there. Now, like y'all went in the hole twice. Y'all
yeah.
first acquiring Bungie,
Oh my
and now
gosh.
developing Marathon. Why do you think these games are good when they're made by indie developers? They're not. You don't have enough people interested to make a AAA. Even Fortnite's getting. I can see the throat just bleeding out of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Um, it, yeah. So, anything you want to add on that? I'll come back to you, and you just tag me in, and because this is a lot. It's just I've lost so much interest in even talking about Marathon. I mean, I wanted to work. I still might even purchase a copy just so somebody could put food on their plate.
Mm.
Um, but I think it's crazy. I really think in order for Bungie to be okay, I think they need to do a collab with Microsoft. I think Microsoft should hire Bungie to do Halo.
Mm. I mean, we don't know if they can. If they're exclusively owned by Sony. I think Sony would rather dissolve Bungie than lease them out. But maybe
Uh, uh, you're at this point. Who are you to make that decision, Sony? You kind of need
that's
to
true.
do whatever
Do
you
you,
can.
do you want to make a profit off of them at some point? If
What's the
so,
Harakiri for? To what point? What code are you following? The samurai code is become a Ronin
yeah,
and save your
yeah,
life
yeah.
and write a book like Miyoto Musashi
That's funny.
as a company. Just save it. Just what are you doing, man?
I
The
think,
Ronin's the way to be.
yeah, I think the issue that Marathon has is how can I say this? I think, and maybe this is a hot take, maybe it isn't. I think we're at a space where, like you said, some of that real world fatigue is starting to seep into these games structures, right? For as successful as Destiny and Destiny 2 were, we were all in a different space in our lives, a different time in our lives, a different financial position of our lives, right? Of like, I'm okay dedicating my time, my money to these expansion packs, these login bonuses, and so on and so forth, because I'm in a more comfortable position in
And
my
they were worth
life.
it.
And they were
They were
worth it.
worth it.
Yeah, they were worth the time invested. I think what's happening now is, like you said, when I'm budgeting, when every single dot, things that I wouldn't normally blink twice at, I'm accounting for now. And you're telling me, okay, granted, it's not a full price game, to be fair, but you're telling me to pay the price for this game that requires me to constantly have Wi-Fi that I'm paying for, constantly have if I'm not playing on PC, constantly paying for the PSN monthly that I'm paying for a game where, like you said, I'm ultra sweaty. There is no reprieve from the sweatiness. There's no single player campaign. There's no PvE mode. There is nothing that
No
allows
split
me
screen.
to not stress out constantly,
Mhm.
right? And at some point, if this game continues on this path that it is, in the back of my mind, you're gonna cut my water off. At some point, it's just gonna be a box or some extra
Yep.
software on my console, right? Of like, you're gonna sunset this game. And I think people are starting to look for the value even in a fleeting moment of, right, like you said, or what we just said about Pragmata. It's like Pragmata, you get in, you play the game, you enjoy the story, you enjoy the experience, and you cut your console off. Man, that was a good $60.
And the $60 it was so good that they made that a replay game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this game again
Yes.
later. I'm gonna, you know what? Let me do a little challenge here again. That's how these single player games, like, you have, if you're gonna sell me a product, look at how you could maximize the value. Now you determine that as a company.
Hmm.
Like, I just think there's not a great businessmen in gaming, in my opinion.
I think there are. I think their focus
They
is
stop at
wrong.
levels though.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they stop at certain levels because, for example, you don't have a lot of Kojimas that can give you their vision. Now that's tier one, right? He plans exactly what he wants to plan and gets his point across. Now you get another guy that says, "Hey, Kojima, if you did this to the game, this would give us this result." You don't have a lot of those guys,
Yeah, I agree.
at least from what I believe. From what I believe. But again, and if you had anything else you wanted to
Yeah,
say,
I don't want to stay on this topic too long because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of interested also what your thoughts are about the rumors about Saros not selling the greatest so far. But I just
But
feel
it's
like
getting great reviews.
it is getting great reviews, but I think
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn game, guys.
hopefully.
So
But
like,
the thing
just
is, what we've seen from PlayStation this generation is that they don't believe in the slow burn anymore either. Of like we're in this weird thing with some of the corporates. Like if you're not hitting margins immediately, cut the cord. I think with Marathon, the only reason, to be honest, I think the only reason why I stuck around this long is because it's pride, right? Of like we paid too much for this company to not see a return whatsoever. But like you said, it's like, what is then the appeal for someone like me who has no plans in my
is it
current?
crossplay?
It is crossplay.
Okay.
If it wasn't crossplay, it'd be dead. It'd be dead. It'd be over already.
Mm, mm.
So it's like, to me, I'm like, unless you're willing to invest even more money into, again, either a campaign of some sort, because that's the thing. Like, yeah, I think even Destiny 2 has some type of like campaign-esque mode in it, right? You need things that's like, if I don't want to engage in any of this and still want to have fun, how can I do that on this game? And if you don't have an answer, sorry, I will return
Yeah.
to my mountain high backlog at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
there, there were two games that came where people were like, "Oh, this is the next thing," and it was not it. Babylon Falls and Godfall. Ironic, right?
So prophesying.
Boy, boy.
Yeah. But
Those games, yeah, yeah. We don't have to
oh
stay
no,
on it
yeah, I
too
was gonna say
long. They
like
had the craziest rollout to be nothing.
yeah. But give me your thoughts on Saros. Do you think he has a chance to win long term? Like what are your thoughts on that?
I think, man, Star Wars could have definitely been. I just think the marketing, it needed more time to cook as far as marketing, man. It
But you
just
don't think they
not
marketed enough?
nah,
What
not
else could
enough
they have done?
exposure. Because people see the game and then they're like, "Oh, is this a over the shoulder?" But then it's not. It's you know, I think that threw people off when it came to the marketing.
Hmm.
From the way I see it, because I see a gun and I just wasn't expecting for it to be the way it was with that type of character's look.
I mean,
So
it's a big budget roguelike. Your roguelikes are in right now. Slay the
no,
Spire
it
2,
is.
Hades 2, like that's
No, no, no. It
that's the wave
but the
right
thing
now.
with no, it definitely is. But I just think with Soros, just that maybe some of the aesthetics just doesn't draw enough for variety for roguelikes to be interesting to people. Because it's just all yellow, in my opinion, when I look at it.
Do you think it's like
And I think some of
it's overproduced? Does that play a part?
nah,
No?
I
Okay.
think it's fine.
Okay.
I just think some of the biomes needed to be more distinct because I almost thought somebody was playing the first Descendant or the last Descendant
Okay.
when I saw it. It just it those games with the one tone Mexican color palette, or deep blue color. No, when we watch Traffic,
Okay.
how did you know you was in Mexico? Yellow
Oh.
tint.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah. I
Like
see what you're saying.
versus just "Hey, this is not what Cancun looks like,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah,
been there.
yeah.
It's in HD,
Ultra HD, contrast turn
Ultra
and
HD.
saturation turn all the way
The
up.
leaves are green. You know what I'm saying? The water is blue.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like yeah, so I just think with that, I think for me the design probably just didn't draw people enough. And also it's a slow burn. It's not a game people are gonna did what's the other game that was roguelike? Did that blow up too the first time?
Returnal. Not
Returnal, yeah.
it got same thing. Same thing. Good reviews, not necessarily the bestseller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so these games there's a challenge when they have that type of realism or I'm seeing that there's a consistency to hey, oh if it's looking like this graphics, I wanted it to play like a Pragmata. I wanted it to
Mm,
be more personal.
I see.
I felt like the camera should have been closer to give people that illusion that okay, this is over the shoulder versus him looking very small on the screen kind of makes everybody like, oh, okay.
Mm,
Of course you gotta sell to birds if you're selling to birds. They're not crows where they can do math.
mhm.
You got to know your audience, and I
Right.
think that hurt it in my opinion. I think that kind of made people feel like that what I'm experiencing in this game isn't worth it. Even though I think Soros is a great game, I think the YouTubers playing it are going to give enough exposure to it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a slow burn. I don't think this is a game. I don't think any game you should automatically measure just to brag. Who exactly wants these margins the next day? That's terrible business in my opinion. It's just greed.
Yeah, but
What business like okay, I planted this KFC or whatever and I want to make the money that I made building each and every one of these franchises to make the money back the next day. That's just not how it works.
mhm.
And you have to apply that. The COVID budget planning or whatever, I don't know if we're going to get monetized for saying that, but the epidemic, the raccoon virus epidemic that happened, like you give it time. Give these games time. They're not your normal gameplay mechanics or mechanisms or structures. So these things need a little bit more time to flourish. And I think it's just nonsense to want your returns that fast already.
Yeah, and I think also sometimes, like you said, I think some of the pandemic output kind of diluted what's the success of like, yo, like 2 million, 1 million, 1 million of anything is amazing. Of anything. But it's like, but we needed five. It's like you needed five?
Yeah, because it doesn't pay off the yacht that I bought.
You needed five? That to me is, like it's almost like, again, there's a lot of parallels with the movie industry and the gaming industry of like, why is a movie budget like this? Like you're putting yourself in such a dangerous position to be able to recoup, right? If you spent hundreds of millions of dollars, the ceiling of what you need to do to even break even is now insane. And I feel like with some of these games, it's like, yo, I don't know if you guys need to pay for a consultation with Sucker Punch, but the fact that they were able to get out Ghost of Yotei at a similar budget for Ghost of Tsushima, they know ball. Go talk to them. Figure out what it takes to make a solid sequel that's going to sell copies and keep it under budget. Figure
Yeah,
it out.
they definitely need to learn how to structure. That's what I'm seeing right now. How important infrastructure is at a gaming studio, because if it's not perfect, you will suffer for
Yeah.
it. From
What
what
is
I'm seeing.
Insomniac doing that the other studios need to pick up from? Insomniac has been cranking out AAA production level games for what, 6 years straight now?
Is it crunch time? Do they have a deadlier form of crunch time, or is it a lot
I
better?
mean, I don't know, right? And even with that, it's like, okay, just to cover them real quick, it's like you can't even look at Spider-Man 2 as a success selling 10 million copies in a week because your production budget was $300 million before marketing. What are we doing? It's like, again, it's like you put the ceiling too much of like, okay, your expectation for success are almost unachievable given the circumstance of like how many games do you think are imagine if a blockbuster movie dropped every single Friday, every week of the year. That's the gaming industry. We're seeing indie games that you've never heard of that are selling by the millions like this. You're not, like that's the thing to me with Sony. I'm like, Sony is like you you you've kind of gotten to this place where you think because you're the big dog on campus in terms of where people go to your AAA, it's like, yo, people's interests are in all types of things now. There was what was that game that came out? It was an indie game where it's like the you were playing a drug dealer. The graphics look horrible, and it sold like crazy. They told people like, hey, don't put out Silk Song for cheap. They sold it for $20, and that thing broke all types. It's like there's no the blind loyalty you think you had. It's not there anymore. You have to be able to either value your investment or realize what your consumer base is doing. Of like, this is not, again, you're putting yourself in a position of like, where else would they go? And it's like, clearly they're looking for anywhere else but here, and you're not giving them any reason to stay.
And some of that might be golfing, actual hobbies,
Anything.
So it's not even in the realm of electronics that people are trying to stay in.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, anywhere but here.
Anywhere but here. So that's pretty much it in terms of Sony news, at least for now. Going to Nintendo. We got a couple of things. I think we'll start off with the big thing because I know you've been itching to get your thoughts off about this. So imagine, if you will, you start seeing the timeline, right? And it's like, hey, there's a Star Fox Direct in 10 minutes. It's like,
really?
Star Fox? Star Fox.
Star Fox, man.
In 10 minutes? The same Star Fox that was in Super Mario Galaxy? That same? Yeah, Star Fox. Like a Star Fox collection? No, it seems like they're doing something new. Oh, okay. I mean, Nintendo's on like a renaissance. They gave us one of the best Donkey Kong games in years. I can't wait to see what they do with Star Fox.
Me too.
And then the trailer starts. And you're like, huh, this looks eerily reminiscent to Star Fox 64. This is Star Fox 64. Like, they literally Star Fox. The same control scheme. Okay. And is this taxidermy Fox McCloud?
My goodness.
Does Falco Lombardi look like Foghorn Leghorn? Does Slippy look like Disney Jr. designed them? Like, what is happening? That's right. What did you think about Star Fox 64 one more again for the fourth time?
Fam, I could not believe. Number one, I think everything affect everybody subconsciously. That's what advertisement's supposed to do when you do advertise me. Because for me, I'm watching it, and the first question that came in my head is like, why did they choose to do this? Doesn't look like the movie
At all.
Now, was I expecting it to look like a 1-for-1? No. Because again, we had this discussion before. We only seen the iterations in Super Smash Brothers where Fox is most consistently designed.
Present. Yes. Yeah.
Present.
Mm.
And those designs are very good.
Great.
So for me, if I'm a creative, there's nothing wrong from me pulling from that design, even though it's in Super Smash Brothers. There's nothing wrong with that because since there isn't, this is the most consistent one. People will click with it easier. I'll go with this design because I'm a businessman. This makes sense. Ease of use. So you show me the movie, you do this great animation, you give Fox more personality than he's ever had. Not only that, he's voiced by someone who was in a good movie with planes.
Mm-hmm.
Fox has more personality than he's ever had. and now you do this. This game should have been nothing but fun. And let's not even, I'm not going to get to the gameplay just yet. But when I saw those designs, I was like, yo, you showed me Fox's boot. And I was like, yo, that's a fire boot. And when I see Fox's boots now, no, 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 no. I was just like, yo, I mean, it was inspired. It was inspired. But yo, listen, when I looked at that 1997, whatever, uh, NES taxidermies puppet Star Fox, I did not go like, man, I can't wait for them to use this as an inspiration. I said, thank God. I never said that in my head, never said that. I was like, oh man, thank God. That's what I really said.
Mm-hmm.
And so now when we had the opportunity to give you Star Fox, which everybody was asking for, people were getting hyped about it. You did good with Donkey Kong, even though you gave him overalls.
Yeah.
Eh,
Donkey Kong for a new generation, right? In a great game. In a great game.
in a great game. But you did not with this one. You just you dropped the ball. It's like, why remake Star Fox when you sold us this very Star Fox numerous times on numerous versions of the Nintendo products? It's like you got, and it's like you treating this as Toriyama treats Piccolo. Like, I don't get it.
Mm.
That's your favorite character? That's your favorite franchise, and this is what you got to do. It doesn't make any sense. And the rail gameplay, it just doesn't stick anymore, man. You got too many games out to where people are saying this is some of the best dogfighting as I've ever played. And I think you should have just took the time to remake Star Fox Assault. Everything that was wrong with Star Fox Assault, you should have just refixed it. Boom. Give me Top Gun Maverick in Star Fox universe.
Mm-hmm.
With a little bit of Mission Impossible or whatever you need to drive the story.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been perfect. But those designs, it's just for the average person watching a movie, their simple question would be like, yo, why doesn't he look like what I saw in the movie? It doesn't have to look like a 1-for-1, but okay, this is close enough to it. I like it. He has the same personality, the spunk, the confidence as I would imagine a fox to be.
Right.
And then to be honest with you, he's not the first animated fox. You do have to deal with Zootopia's fox character. You also have to deal with the fantastic Mr. Fox, which isn't even geared towards children.
You have to deal with Fox and the Hound.
You got to deal with Fox and the Hound and the Robin Hood Fox.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have so much to pull from, and the Robin Hood Fox would have made a great character for a video game.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Yeah. To me, what I keep coming back to, right? Given having seen the entire direct, having seen that obviously they're trying to introduce Star Fox to a new generation, the fact that they redesigned him for the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie and then didn't use that design, I'm like, that's the thing that blows my mind more so than anything else. Like, so you redesigned him. Old fans liked it, new fans liked it, and then didn't use it at all. Said, no, we're actually going to go in a completely different direction than anyone has ever seen before outside of a box cover. And then not even, it's almost like watching, I can't think of the quite 1-for-1 metaphor, but imagine you're Nintendo, you're watching the success that Capcom is having doing basically the director's cut of Resident Evil in HD. You're seeing the success and the critical acclaim that Square Enix is getting with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. Again, a director's cut in Ultra HD. And you say to yourself, well, we can do that too. And then you don't do it. You're like, well, we have cutscenes now. I'm like, that's great. That's already a step up from what you usually do with your games. But what else? It's just, like you said, it's the same on the rails gameplay from 1996. What are we doing? Laser
I was
Somersault,
5 years old.
barrel roll, bomb. That's it. Here's Iandros again. Here's Wolf again.
Like
Why?
this.
More so than the designs. Why are you doing the same exact game? Is there nothing else you could do with Star Fox? It's space. That's why, like, I'm not a big sci-fi guy, as you know. I prefer my things a little bit more grounded or like fantastical, right? Like Final Fantasy VII's world is like you could do whatever to me. Like in that world of like, man, there's so many things. It's a mech, but they have this, and it's futuristic. But then you're fighting these ancient creatures. Oh my, like that's kind of more my bag. But I'm like, one thing I say with space, I'm like, it is space. You could do whatever. There are no rules.
Fam, I would have Mass Effect. I would have made this Mass Effect for like, because you guys did the gameplay change with Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Mm-hmm.
You did it with Mario.
Mm-hmm. Did it with
Fox
Kirby.
needs that treat. You did it with Kirby. Fox needs that same treatment, guys. I don't see the consistency. To say that you don't know what to do, you did it with Zelda.
You did it with Zelda.
You changed Zelda completely.
You turned Zelda into a new
And
genre.
a new genre of game. Yeah, basically. And you're not doing it with Fox. To me, it's like I don't know. I don't know if that team was small. I don't know if they were like interns. I don't know if Fox is the game to where, hey, this is what we allow people to experiment on.
I feel like they want to play
And
it
I
safe
just
because like Star Fox games don't sell the greatest, but like Star Fox games don't sell the greatest because you play it safe. It goes hand in hand. It's like you get. I don't want to play the same game for the fourth time in a row.
and it's not only that, but I think Fox they have a problem with Metroid, and they have a problem with doing Fox. Like they have a hard time doing, I guess, more mature themes or
But Star Fox is not even mature. It's a bunch of animals
flying I
in
know, but
space, bro.
I think
That's what I'm saying. It's not. The world is your oyster. It's your oyster. You could do Zootopia in space if you really wanted to.
should have just been that.
What is so hard about this?
Yeah.
Zootopia 2 made like $1 billion in one weekend. Clearly, the desire for talking, walking animals is there.
You want me to be honest? You know what I would have done with Star Fox? To be honest with you, I would have definitely revisited Star Fox Assault and used that as my basis for the world. Make Fox a fun cover shooter when on land missions,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go on. Okay, hey, he's getting away. Then you guys go into your jet and you go into space.
Yeah,
with the jet. Little Star Wars Battlefront. It should be a hybrid of Star Wars Battlefront and Star Fox Assault,
mm-hmm.
where you get missions on the ground because he's being hired. Have him do more of the jobs. Hey, let me take this job on, or let me take this mission on. Star Fox no longer needs to be tied to rails. The X-wing should be a one of many vehicles that Fox will have access to, and they were already there. So just have more of it.
Right. And if you don't want to change the X-wing, give them upgrades like every other game ever. You ever heard of this little thing called Kingdom Hearts on the gummy ship?
Yeah, man. I mean,
you can turn the gummy ship into whatever you wanted in terms of upgrades. Like the template, it just so like this is a game that's been around for so long. It's like you could have borrowed from anything. Everyone's like, oh, we need Ace Combat. You don't even need to borrow from Ace Combat if you didn't want to.
It could be Ace Combat. It could be Gundam.
Yeah.
It could be y'all version of.
You could get ridiculous with it and have all the all the wings turn into the Fox Megazord if you want. Just something, anything, please.
And I'm like, yo, Star Fox Adventure was fire. I don't care what anybody says. I love that game. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I could see why, but to me, that game was fire. I like the fact that they took a risk with that game. The
Mhm.
graphics were beautiful. The I just there's so much working for Star Fox. That Star Fox Adventure was like, I just think people didn't even know that it existed. That's the thing. I said, yo, that was one of the first games I played for the GameCube besides Super Smash Brothers.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was just that's just how I feel. I feel like
Yeah.
there's so much you could do with Star
And
Fox.
I think it kind of goes into the whole thing of like with Nintendo now also joining Xbox and PlayStation, and like, yes, we're gonna have a price increase as well, and it's going up $50. And them saying that even the price increase is not going to subset. They're basically selling the game console at a loss still, and their a statement was something along the lines of like, we're hoping that the software will kind of make up for what we're losing in hardware. And not to say, obviously, right, it's selling, right? Procopia, I think, did better than they anticipated in selling hardware. But it's just like
Crazy.
when you have things where it's like you'll have a hit and then a miss, right? So it's like for every Donkey Kong Bonanza, there's a Metro Prime 4, right? It's like
Which didn't even show up in the annual
right.
the quarter annual.
So it's like you're hoping for software, and I'm not saying that what they've been putting out is garbage, right? I don't think I said this before we went on break. I'm like, I don't think that Nintendo, in my opinion, for the Switch 2, has put out a definitive console seller. There's good games, there's great games. I don't think there's been something of like, I need this from them yet. I know there's been the rumors and the leaks, and I think the Star Fox Direct kind of like pretty much all but confirmed this. So like, okay, they're gonna be remaking Ocarina of Time, and I think depending on how they handle it, maybe that's what gets Switch 2s off the shelves. But it's like, are you really banking on a remake of another old game that you've already remade as well on the
If
3DS to
you're
sell
right,
your brand new console?
you're right. Now, the only thing that'll determine that being a success is if it gets the Final Fantasy VII treatment.
And maybe it does. Maybe that's where all
And
the
if it
budget's going this
does,
year.
and if it does, I will play my real glad with Link's inspirational voices. Hit, yeah, yeah. Waking up, like, I'll
Bars.
play that every morning. You feel me? I'll play that every morning for the next 6 months.
Yeah,
After launch of that game, if that's what happens. So, man, I think Nintendo need this little spanking. I think I'm actually happy they're getting this little spanking. It'll put them back to formula. It'll bring them back to where they can actually think and are like, yo, we're not as invincible as we thought we were.
yeah. It
So,
can't just be Mario or
you know,
nothing.
yeah, so the complacency that they're leading with now needs to be put to rest. Like, get busy again. Create until you can't create no more. That's
Mhm.
the same way you guys approach having meeting margins and with finances and having this plus and this plus bon is the same thing you need to do. Make as much money as possible, be as creative as possible.
I agree.
It should be hand in hand in this space.
I
It
agree.
should not be one or the other. You can't treat it like the automobile industry or whatever industry that doesn't sell entertainment. You can't do that. Creativity will give you bread.
I agree.
That's it.
And that's it for the Nintendo section, at least for this week. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to bring back an old favorite, an old fantastic part of the show, something that we like
My
to call Back to Formula. Now, for those who are first time listeners, or maybe it's been a while, you don't quite remember. Back to Formula is when we introduce, whether it be a company, a concept, a release, a statement, a content creator, depending on how we're feeling that week, where they everything about what they're doing needs to go back to start. Something along the way, and the way this rolled out, you lost track of the goal. We've kind of lost the things that made this what it was, and you need to go back to formula, start all over again, and try it again. And for this week's back to formula, I have to bring to the table the modern fighting game community. Here's what
Mm,
I don't understand about y'all.
mm,
You guys are one of the most vocal groups that I see on the internet. When
mm,
Tekken does something wrong, I know more about frame data from the amount of complaining they've done on Tekken than I've known in fighting game history. When
mm-hmm,
Mortal Kombat 1 does something you guys don't like,
mm-hmm.
dissertations
Oh,
on YouTube about it.
oh, wow.
When Street Fighter does something y'all don't like,
Mm-hmm.
every you will hear every single breakdown about it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So S rank, I ask you, why is it when I bring up what I consider to be what's starting to become, in my opinion, the over monetization of the fighting game community, I get nothing but pushback in my comment section about, well, that's just the way games are. So when I say, hey, I think Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is giving y'all the okey doke when it comes to what they're offering at full price. And the pushback is, well, that's how fighting games work. Look at Tekken 8, look at Street Fighter 6 and how they do their passes. And my response is, well, they can go too. Why is it that I'm getting pushback from the people that I'm trying to side with of like, hey, we're letting them nickel and dime us just a little bit too much these days. What are your thoughts on that? Where do you think we went wrong in terms of what we're willing to accept when it comes to fighting games?
Well, Israel never loved their own prophets that were trying to bring them out of the darkness that they were in. So I think you should gladly take your place as a chosen mouthpiece of the Lord Almighty. And to go on further, i- you know, when do the people ever know what they really want until it's too late? So this is gonna be textbook math, man. It's back. It is what it is, right? But they need to go back to formula because they like understand the model of a season pass is great. Why? Because you no longer have to buy a completely new version of said game,
Correct.
which had it not been for Killer Instinct, you would have never had the season pass option or implemented into current fighting games that we have here now. So thank the team of Xbox for allowing that to be, and the team Double Helix at the time for creating that.
Mhm.
So now with fighting games and the pushback that you're getting, these are people's beloved franchises. The very people talking are not the sweaty palm people. They
Correct.
don't play fighting games to win. They play fighting games that want them to win, that allow them to win. With the pushback that you're getting from Tokon Battle is a
Talk about fighting souls
nostalgia.
before the
Tokon
get some
Souls, Fighting
comments. Yeah.
Souls. Yeah, Tokon Battle with Tokon Fighting Souls is you're getting nostalgia, man. Like this is more of what you don't want than is what you want, in my opinion. I do see Marvel's hand dipping in too much,
Mhm.
to be honest with you, because a lot of the choices don't make a lot of sense, to my opinion. I'm not really champion Siri because I do think T'Challa needed to have more of a clear presence before adding in the Sakura of
But
of
S
the Black
rank,
Panther verse.
T'Challa's been in multiple Marvel games. Shuri's never been in any.
That's not
Why
how
can't
it
she get a game?
works. Yeah, and then for you guys saying so and so is so similar, that's why I didn't put him in the game. That's infantile thinking because there's a lot of characters, Sakura, Ryu, Ken, that play similar, Akuma. So that's not a there's not you're not saying that they're going to be limited to making something more creative. That's not what you're looking at. That's a variation, and I think T'Challa being in many games, it doesn't suffice. Why? Because they're not many of the same games. They're very different. And
Yeah.
you haven't played all those games,
And
I
most
can
of the games he's
guarantee.
been in before are butt.
trash. Like they introduced T'Challa towards the end of a dying Avengers game,
Yep.
which was supposed to be the next future of how Avengers game would
Yep.
be being played.
Right off the
No, that's
back of introducing him at the tail end of a dying Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite game of like, we're just gonna
and
make him Wolverine.
and
What?
let's not pretend that Black Panther 2 was all that. It wasn't. I mean, I'll be the one that first to, I'll be the first to say it. It wasn't all that. It is what I feel, almost how I feel about this Mortal Kombat that really dropped. It was, eh.
Yeah.
Is it better than one? No, nope, 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 nope,
Yeah.
nope, 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 nope.
I guess. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And so, what I really want to say is this: what do you want to do with this character? Like him being in him being in Marvel, man, I'm forgetting, man. It's very popular. The Overwatch style of
Oh, Marvel Rivals.
Marvel Rivals. It was me crossing my fingers. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like it's not that we had full confidence that he was gonna show up, right? It's like it's not that Black Panther showing up it is like a guarantee. We want it to be, but it's not a guarantee. I
He's not
feel
a
he's just
staple
as a
Marvel
wild
character yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's just a wild card that is as She-Hulk is, as having Samson, strong Samson from the Hulk universe in a game. It's not a guarantee. I'm more confident that Ghost Rider will appear in the video
In
game
some form.
before
Yes. Yeah.
at some form. So that argument with T'Challa not being already being in enough games, it's not enough of the same game. Like when I say fighting games, he needs to be there to be a staple, to be in all genres. He's not. It's like a toss up. It's never consistent. He hasn't even had his own video game for you to say that he's a staple.
Yeah.
He's not, like not even the Hulk. And we know the Hulk will show up at one point in a video game. When has the Hulk has any standalone video games?
Right. In the
But
last
you know he's going to
decade.
be in this one.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you have to compare to what universe we're in. This is obviously being compared to Marvel vs. Capcom. So we want to they because we're in that bubble of Marvel vs. Capcom, you're going to compare it to the next fighting game, and because we know that T'Challa or Thor haven't been in a lot of these games, we kind of like, man, it would be so nice if Thor was in this game. Is there a Thor trailer? Isn't he like a foundational member of the
Original Avengers. Yes.
Avengers? Is he not the one who drove Stormbreaker through the chest of Thanos?
Wouldn't know about his presence in video games. Tell you that much.
Wouldn't know, right? But you guys want Doom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. Like, I think, yeah, T'Challa hasn't have enough screen time for you to introduce. Suri should have been DLC, in my opinion. So I'm
I
not
agree.
even worried about him playing similar to Wolverine because
They don't fight
T'Challa,
the same way.
they don't fight the same way. They don't even have the same powers. You could turn T'Challa into a grappler. There's a lot of things you can do with T'Challa. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, yeah, I'm with you.
I just think, yeah, the structure of fighting games. I don't think it's all. I'm not gonna blame Arc System Works for it. You can clearly see they're being deeply overshadowed. Yeah, no.
For sure, and I think like to touch on that, and then also the greater point, right? Like my biggest thing, people are like been like, okay, why are you been so hard on Tokyo Fighting Souls? And like the thing for me is like I think the internet perception, at least from what I see online a lot, is that Arc System Works are considered like the people's champ, right? Like they give the fighting game community what they really want out of their IP that they're dropping. I think. You know, in the terms of internet revisionist history of like people like, well, look at Fighters. I'm like, no, look at Fighters now. When Fighters was first dropping, we were there. I remember.
Yeah.
How many more Gokus was the meme? I was there. Now things happen to work out. You get to the end of season 3, and there's enough of a variation of the roster. But now that they bring back Fighters for just a bit, and what else do you get? Another Goku. I was there. It wasn't that long ago. the thing to me when it comes to these games, when it comes to talk, like to me, I'm like the fact that you're dropping a 4v4 fighter with less characters than a 3v3 fighter that you also made is
Yeah, yeah,
blasphemy. What are we
yeah.
talking about?
I don't get it. Yeah, this is the first of its kind. Like
It's
the
never been
roster
done
should not
before.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah, the roster should not be reduced to, because now it's just 4v4. It's definitely gonna they're gonna overlap at one point.
the meta's gonna be
People's
the same
rosters.
four
Yeah,
characters
it's gonna be
for
same for
months.
Sentinel,
Yeah,
Iron Man.
exactly. It's gonna be Marvel's Capcom 2 all over again. Like to
Yeah,
me, my ultimate thing with this is like I see a lot of counterpoints when it comes to this game, other games of like, oh, you don't have any idea what goes into making a fighting game character. It's all these things. There's all these details that have to be poured into it. There's all these things you
so
got. Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you something, right? You are an artist, right? I am an artist. I've done things in the entertainment world. You're doing things in the entertainment world. We both know how hard these things are. I don't get to then turn around and be like, well, you don't understand how hard it is. Who cares?
you
I
want
wanted
it?
to do it, and you
Oh,
wanted to
you
do it.
know? Yeah, yeah,
You want to make
yeah.
fighting games? You want to make a tag fighter? This is what comes with it. If you don't want to do that, do not make a tag fighter. If you want to continue to do the 5s and the 6 and the 7s and the 8s, you need to approach these games, these legacy fighters, with a Tekken 8 mentality. 30 plus characters out the gate. Or don't do it. And for the consumers, it is okay. People say, "Oh, well, that was like they let so many other things pass." I'm like, again, I bring y'all back to like you are letting this power that you have not manifest. Of Mortal Kombat 1 said, "We're gonna charge you guys for fatalities," and you guys said no. And you know what they did?
They didn't charge you.
They didn't charge you for it. Keep that same energy with the rest of these publishers. This ain't the indie games of the 90s. Arc System Works did a Dragon Ball game and a Marvel game. They are fine. Tekken 8 is not going to bankrupt the Tekken team. There will be a Street Fighter 7 if there's something you don't like in Street Fighter 6. You can say no. When I go on the PlayStation Store and see Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls for $100 for the Ultimate Edition, and you talking about a stage pack? I'm like, we have lost the plot. And y'all are here jumping in front of bullets in my comment section, and probably in this comment section when we drop this episode, of like, well, then play something else. This is the way it is. How many times, like you said,
Oh, Jerusalem.
right?
Jerusalem.
They are poisoning the well, and all you got to do is slap their hand, and they'll stop doing it. And then you say to yourself, "Well, where else would I drink?"
Yeah, no, because the thing is,
You
they're
got it.
gonna, they're gonna, the game's gonna launch. It's gonna play, and then you're gonna get the comment guy scratching his head. I just don't understand. People are so ungrateful. Why it never worked? Like, this game is perfect. I don't understand why everybody left. No, we told you why everybody was gonna leave. It's simple marketing 101. Like, that's how they get you to buy stuff. That's why is the data is going to represent. Well, nobody's playing the game, so we didn't make it. But I love this game. You and the rest of the 10 people that like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, it's dead.
Right. It
When
was
we were
technically
saying the
perfect.
design was, when we were saying the designs was trash, there were people defending. Oh, it's not that bad. You guys need to stop complaining. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And Tokon, I mean, I'm excited for it, and at the same time, I'm not. I just don't. I don't see this game lasting long, man. If it does, they're gonna force it to do at least 2 evos, and then the player count's gonna drop. They're gonna, hey, Nee, why haven't you played the latest Tokon Souls?
Because Dr. Doom was medicines day one and hasn't fallen on the meta since.
Yeah, so when I go online, it's Doctor Doom, Hulk, and Spider Girl,
Yeah, it's the same four
and
characters
then
over
you feel
and
me? And
over and
Magic
over. Hmm.
over and over and over again. This is the super team of super teams: Storm, Magneto, Sentinel. That's it. And
Yeah.
occasionally Iron Man and Juggernaut, however you want it to be. So,
Yeah. So
the game's not even. And then, to be honest with you, they struggled with Guilty Gear in the beginning, and this is their flagship game. So,
right.
you know,
Hey, don't
it's
hey,
not XR.
be careful. Internet revisionist history will tell you that the game was always a success because they're having a successful season 3. It's like, no, it wasn't. No.
No, they dropped how many seasons and how many characters, and finally at the tail end of the game, they gave people what they want. This game is not gonna last another 2-3 years. I think it's gonna be they're gonna draw the line and work on the next game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with Tokon Fighting Souls, I think Marvel Rivals is gonna live it. To be honest
With the
with
way
you.
things are going, I'd
I
say
know it's
yeah.
bold claims. I know it's bold claims, but when have we ever been wrong when we prophesied?
This is true. Even in the things we were wrong and we were right. So
Even when we were playing and joking. Hey, that's the worst case scenario, right, guys? Next week, headline.
they're doing that exact thing, actually.
Exact thing. They said, "Oh, did you hear what they said? Let's do the opposite
Right.
of what the Press Start Select podcast
Right.
stated."
So
Yeah,
finding a community for God's sake, stop opening your wallet and open your minds. Go
please,
back
man.
to
We're trying to save you money. We're trying to save you money. We got to go back to formula. Has to.
And now on the other side of things, because we don't just, talk down or talk negative, we also have a segment called PSS Approved. Now, PSS Approved is something that we think is doing well, is operating on and everything that they put their mind to. And again, this could be a company, this could be a product, this could be a content creator. But in this particular week, and we kind of spoke on it a little bit earlier into the show, into the episode, but we got to put Capcom in the PSS approved. Capcom 2026, when it comes to the legendary big names, they're doing more than I could have never predicted them to do this well. They even fixed
Bravo.
Monster Hunter Wilds. I didn't think it was possible.
Bravo. Bravo. They're fixing it. That's true.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that expansion.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, that was a rough patch there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a rough patch. I think that Monster Hunter Wilds has the same problem, or followed the same problem, or is going to have the same problem with this Star Fox game and Metroid. I keep saying Metroid Prime, or Metroid 4. Metroid Prime 4 had is that they changed the style drastically to what got people gravitated to it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, no, they definitely deserve the PSA approve. I mean, this run that they're having right now, this back-to-back successes, I was concerned about Grace being in Resident Evil.
You were.
I wanted nothing to do with her, even though I still played Grace's segments like she was Leon Kennedy. You can't take that out of me. It's too late. It's too late. But I the only thing with Resident Evil 9, I just wish they stayed in the hospital for a good duration of the game. Those were some of the best segments, and I was surprised, even though as redundant and I saw Leon's segment was when I played it, completely different experience. But this run Capcom's doing with the success of Resident Evil 9, Pragmata, the patch, the remix, the fixing of Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm hearing rumors of a Dragon's Dogma.
Right, something. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing rumors of a Dragon's Dogma DLC. And now Onimusha, Way of the Sword, on close to release. I'm excited, man. I think Capcom is doing wonders. And then to be honest with you, their run started, I would say, as early as Devil May Cry 5. Not a perfect game, but interesting enough for it to do well.
Yeah, and the willingness to come back to that IP.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't double down on the reboot. They're like, we'll tell you what you like. It's like, no, okay, you guys want more Dante? The Dante you remember? Here.
Yeah.
The
And
collections,
then
bro. The
yeah,
collections.
yeah. The
Let's free
collections.
Power Stone from the vaults. Let's free Marvel vs. Capcom 2 from the vaults.
Marvel
You can
versus
have it all.
Capcom 2, and we adjusted some of the. Oh man, we actually fixed some of the net code, and we actually fixed some of the infinites. Oh man, I think the definitely with that. Even them being able willing to release Darkstalkers was still a shocker to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this Capcom. Like they had a good run, Resident Evil 8. Big Mama version of Resident Evil 8, Lady Demiscu.
Right.
And so yeah, this run is looking bright. Capcom, hope you guys continue with this momentum. You got our PSS approved, man.
Yeah, I think they will. I think some of the small interviews that they give from time to time of like they're looking for ways to incentivize the creative teams that they have. I'm like, you're doing everything that a company's supposed to do. Give your team the runway. People who are passionate about these 15, 20 the people who grew up playing them and was like, hey, I've always wanted to see this idea for Onimusha come to life. Okay, here. Hey, I've always just had this idea about what if we really made Street Fighter streets with the grittiness. Okay, here.
And it is paying off.
And it's paying off. So, again, PSS approved, Capcom, welcome back. It has been beautiful. I hope the rest of your legendary competitors feel. Sega seems to be taking a page out your book. Konami seems to be getting more serious. I mean, the Silent Hill series are doing better and better with every release. So, the big publishers of our childhood, keep it up. But Capcom is once again showing why they are one of one, second to none in that space. So, PSS approved for sure. Now this episode is running a little bit late. But I guess in terms of any anime related news, Frank, was there anything that you wanted to cover tonight before we wrap it up for the evening?
Hey, I know I'm late, but I finished Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
Welcome to the rest of the hype that we've all been on for some time. How does it feel?
Yeah, I just a couple of caveats.
Okay.
Just a couple. I don't know how to scale everybody's power in the universe, because it's like if it's not Gojo, if it's not Sukuna, then it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Even the guy with the brain, I don't feel like he's serious. I was like, yo, you're not dead yet, because you had to seal Gojo away, buddy. You feel me? So this is where I'm at right now. I know everybody's going crazy about season 2 and the man that uses frame data.
Season 3.
Season
The culling game, yeah.
Yeah, season 3. So I'll be watching that, and I actually want to wait for the dub, but with all the attacks on the websites now.
Oh yeah. Down. What do you think of? I guess people say that Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of like all choreography, no plot structure, or there's no weight to anything that's going on.
I feel more weight out of an episode of the Justice League than I do for some of Jujutsu Kaisen. I was feeling weight with them sealing Gojo. That felt significant. But the weight I feel are usually for me, it's attached to the characters. Like they made me hate Envy / Kabuto.
Mahito, yeah.
Mahito. Like I hate that character. Yeah. Like I hated Envy and I hated Kabuto, and they found a way to make me combine both of them together.
That's good writing.
I was like, yeah, that's good writing. They're good at character writing. Very good at character writing. Like on par with Bleach. But yeah, I just don't feel like a lot of it, because it's like, okay, what's Sukuna's goal? What's the point of giving him all his fingers if he himself doesn't even care about it? Okay. Certain things are like, wait, don't you want all your fingers back to? Like, no, I don't even care if my fingers come back. Did you really? And he sliced homegirl into slices of cheese. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it with so far from right now what I'm seeing. And Toji coming back for what? I'm like, that was short-lived,
but amazing.
It was,
because I feel like, not for nothing, it is a little random for one, but I think when you think about his place in the flashback, we didn't really get to see what he could do, right? Because in that theory, is like he fought a not yet in his prime Gojo, so it's like you beat him, but he also didn't know all the things that we know current Gojo knows. So it's like, how good are you really? So when he gets reincarnated, essentially, it's like, oh no, you Gojo had to be the one to take you out because you were a problem. You were a problem.
And he was the only reason why I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen, because I watched Jujutsu Kaisen Zero because I heard Gojo got bodied. I'm not a big Gojo fan. He's a cool character, but I was just like, man, I like Akashi, man. I just picked the side already, man.
I think with Gojo, I think Gojo is actually a good character study in how to write an all powerful character. Right? I think when we've seen in a lot of series that we've watched growing up, it's like usually with the all powerful character, they find a way to nerf them, right? We're like, oh, they actually weren't that strong, right? And like actually, they were kind of like overhyped. Actually, if you really want to, like, oh, here's these things that weren't issues before. Of like, oh, Itachi was super strong, but now he's sick he has some unnameable disease that he's been fighting for years, and he's going blind. It's like, all right, bro. Pain is actually a guy in a wheelchair. He hasn't moved in 15 years. It's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things are like nerf. Oh, we revived Hashirama, but he wasn't at his full power during the war, actually. So that's why Madara beat him. But with Gojo, it's like, no, he is who they talk about. He is him. Like unless you find a way there is no way to outright beat him. Same thing with Sukuna. It's like you're not gonna outright. You're just not gonna outright beat him. You have to put them in a circumstance that even they can't get out of. And I personally enjoy that a lot. Right?
Okay.
Of
Like Cars, right?
Like Cars, yes, exactly. Where it's like Cars is like, no, it's not like the rumor of an immortal body. He is an immortal. Like, what do you do now? Like that. That's how I look at Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen. Of like, it gets annoying when every single new character gets introduced. Of like, this was a character whose curse technique can surpass or rival Satoru Gojo. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it.
And that's another problem I have.
I get
it's
it.
Like the narrator comes out of nowhere to describe the fight scene in battle. I'm just like, this isn't good, guys. It's not like I'm watching up. Baki does this too.
Baki does it even worse.
Baki does this too, but at least with Baki, it's describing something historical to put you in context, which is okay.
No, it's not. Baki would be like, did you see that fingernail twist? That's the fingernail twist of the. It's been known to. No. It's the ancient Egyptian style that they used to scrape out brains, but he's doing it with his finger. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was wild. Yo, but with Baki, I'll give it some credit. But when it's, for example, when they were describing the first scene of Baki being Baki season 1, episode 1, when they were introducing the prisoners, they were talking about synchronicity, which was okay. Right? He's showing you why was a sign or XYZ. I thought that was fine. But with Jujutsu Kaisen, they literally describe, like, that's like you describing the stanzability. We don't want to. We want the characters to discover that. You kind of remove me from the battle, my investment, when you describe it the way you do. And Gojo's ability allows you to counteract infinites.
Yeah,
this doesn't help.
It's an interesting style of storytelling that I'm not necessarily a fan of either. Of like, you're essentially retroactively informing the audience of things you probably should have established beforehand.
Yeah, and I feel like you can only do that with, like, if you did that with Tekken, that would be fine. If Tekken had an anime, if you did it with a strictly fighting game, sports base, whatever, I would accept it. But with this, it's too much lore for you to approach it that way.
Yes,
like Sukuna's lore is interesting. Like, why did they have to sever his fingers to seal him?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this guy have stitches, and why does his brain have lips? That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. Give me an explanation. Like, I want people to discover that. But Jujutsu Kaisen that makes excellent characters. I have to say that. Even the chick with the blonde hair, um, that was in Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, when she was introduced, I thought her character introduction was amazing,
Mm.
fire. And Mekamaru turned out to be actually kind of fire.
He
And
had
too
a
bad
Gundam.
he was building a Gundam and he was storing energy for 1,000 years because he said that's the only way that makes sense that I could beat you is by having a larger life bar.
Yeah.
Which was just
It's a Gundam.
which
Ah!
you know I just don't understand how he plugged it in. That cord was extremely long. That junk was not remote control.
Yeah, it was not.
So I was just trying to why don't homie just cut the okay, whatever.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but that's about it. I'm gonna be watching Freerun. I'll start all over again because I kind of got lost. I kind of just threw it on to see whatever, and everybody's going crazy about it. And there's some new anime that dropped that I'm gonna be looking forward to looking.
Yeah, I started watching the new anime series by the Full Metal Alchemist creator. Is it Demons of the Underworld? I believe it's called.
Yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel about it?
Um, I will say this: she has Demons of the Shadow Realm. She has a particular love for certain character designs. Of like, wow, this is Hohenheim from Fullmetal. This is Hohenheim. Like the
Okay.
cut, the ponytail. I'm like, this is just a design.
Wow.
This is a version of Ed. Okay, you know, like her style. She didn't try. She's very Akira Toriyama when it comes to her character design. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
this is just what you draw.
Okay. Okay.
The premise so far is interesting. I think I'm on episode 5, and I think the unknowns of the story are very interesting. Like you don't know which side is really the good guys or the bad guys, which is
Mm.
great. That's great writing. But
Okay.
I'm not necessarily as invested in the characters so
Okay.
far. Of like, this is interesting. I'm gonna keep watching, but I don't necessarily. I haven't seen anything that I care about.
And that's how I feel about One Piece. I'm just along for the ride, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. When I saw what happened to Ace, the whole common rider pose, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm serious. Like there's not one person where I'm like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see this person get into it." I'm like, "Wow." I like the admirals. I love Kizaru
mhm.
cuz his introduction that was Oscar worthy. That whole archipelago arc, my favorite. But I'm not really attached to anybody in One Piece like that.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it. But I will say this. I am I don't know what's going on now. There was a hilarious meme going on about the latest chapter of One Piece. It just had me cracking up because I don't know where to put it.
Mm.
But they're saying it's like the best story ever written because of that chapter. But back to an anime I started watching. I started watching Fist of the North Star, man, and I'm just hurt that this anime is being treated the way it is.
That and Berserk is
Because
like, what? Why? Why? Why?
like
Why do you guys keep doing this?
people want to
Yeah.
see this. And for one thing I don't understand about anime that just is just hands, they never show them having hands.
Mhm.
Baki slideshow. Record Ragnarok slideshow.
Mhm.
Fist of the North Star. I don't want to see a 3D animated version of Kenshiro. You had that over that you released by Madhouse years ago. I wanted more of that.
Mhm.
This should be treated with the same love that you treat Demon Slayer. The reason why nobody gives Fist of the North Star a chance is because they never give it the anime quality it deserves to express
Mm.
these very powerful characters. I did not give Fist of the North Star the credit because I had a coworker when I used to work at Whole Foods. I had a coworker tell me, "Yo, that's the greatest story you'll ever read." I was like, man, yo, dog, buddy is just cheap. All he does is poke you and you die. I don't care. And then I started to some of the character. There's a character that survived the attack because he of a birth defect. So it doesn't work on him. And you're like, I'm like, dang, he didn't die? Oh snap. So not everybody's invincible in this world.
Mm.
And so like there's no way for people to understand that this story is actually fire. But the anime stories, they do not treat it with the love and respect that it deserves. They don't even take the liberty to correct some of the chapters that weren't fire. This is what you would do for something like that.
Mhm.
For Fist of the North Star, it birthed JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's the reason why Toriyama, a lot of the greats looked up to Fist of the North Star. How are you guys going after all the pirated anime and you guys want to get maximum on your returns for a product and you don't recognize what got you there or whatever this made anime to be now? You're not doing anything to amplify that or not
Mhm.
putting anything into those resources. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But you want to release the time I was a worm underneath the bottom of a whale, Isekai.
Right. With maximum budget.
With maximum budget. Like I'm like, there's no reason why this is getting the treatment of a movie.
Yeah.
And that's just where I leave it. I was just very disappointed. Nobody wants the CGI. Nobody. If they did this with Reboot, I would have been okay. If they did this with Transformers Beast Wars, I'd have been okay.
Mhm.
But not Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star should have what was that? The God of High School combat
Mm.
levels when it dropped. It should be having the anime budget of a man, Dungeon Fighters. Dungeon Fighter, is it Dungeon Fighter? DNF duels, Dungeon Fighter duels, whatever. It should be
Okay.
having that budget of just that budget of
They
animation.
should have a budget of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, they should have a budget of Jujutsu Kaisen. I think the third season, you pause Amazon and you hire a team to draw everything because the CGI is not cutting it. You're gonna be upset that nobody wants it in that format. Do you think people want to see an Xbox with the same logo as a PlayStation? No, people want the products to have a distinct look, not CGI. It's not gonna. Nobody want that. Doesn't translate well, and you guys don't even do the best versions of CGI.
Yeah.
That like it doesn't play like K-pop Demon Slayer. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look interesting like Kung Fu Panda. There's no fluidity. Why am I watching a scene from Kung Fu Panda and I'm looking at Kenshiro, who would destroy and wear him for a coat, watching it, and he doesn't even move with that fluidity? I'm looking at something in 15 frames per second.
Mhm.
And then you do his most iconic moves, and I can count every hand that's there with my naked eye. I just it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I think they should hold off and stop doing CGI for anything. Just draw it. And you'll get people to come the same way people are going crazy for Jujutsu Kaisen, for Demon Slayer. That was one of the best movie experiences. And that arc, when I watch it again, it's not the best. The train station arc, if Asuka, I forgot his name. If homie never showed up, the martial artist never showed up, I would have hated Demon Train, Mugen Tenshin, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, they did. That made the movie. That saved the movie. That animation quality. And yeah, going from there, man. It just drives me crazy that they treat Fist of the North Star this way. And I don't even want to get on Ronin Warriors. Disappointed.
Yeah.
Disappointed. Like what?
Yeah.
You turned them into K-pop stars?
Yeah. Why even bother?
You guys like, what are you doing? It has to look like where it came from.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah. I agree. It's the anime industry's in an interesting place because I feel like they've opened up so much more in terms of hiring out, right? You're seeing a lot more international artists who got famous on YouTube or whatever the case may be being hired at these studios to help for their creative visions. It's like, so you have more resources than you've ever had before,
Ever.
and you still do these things with these properties. Why?
Why?
Like, you don't have to. It's not just the
You don't.
same 10 top tier animation artists that it was 20 years ago, where it's like, yo, you knew, by the art style who was cooking on this art. Like, when you saw the less details on an art episode, you already knew it was about to be a banger. Like, oh, it's about to be
Yeah.
fluidity. I
When you see
am
that
locked.
two tone,
Yeah,
two tone paint style,
I am locked
opaque.
in. It's like we're not in that era anymore. It's like you have people who are putting in. I've seen some of the animators that worked on Lego Monkey Kid or whatever on some of these other projects. They worked on the Avatar movie of like, bro, you could the fluidity in the choreography. I'm like, you have the resources now. Utilize them. Utilize these long running fans who are super talented in this space. Stop doing this lazy foolishness when you don't have to. But at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we have hit our mark in terms of episode time and duration. So thank you guys if you made it this far. We're glad to be back. Again, moving forward, I'll have a different setup. We were just trying to get back out the hiatus, back out. I don't like these things that you see from other shows where like they go on a hiatus and they never ever come back. You never hear from them again. It's like a quiet dissolution. It's like we actually were on hiatus. Life was lifing
Yep.
as it tends to
Yep.
do.
Yep. But we're back.
But we're back. So
We're
please
ready.
make sure to check out the video. If you have access to hype it up, please hype it up. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will be back again. I am Antonius the Gamer with Super SSS rank. We are the Press Start Select Podcast. Until next time, peace.